Welcome. We're going to talk about women's hormones, estrogen, the good and the bad. So, what about estrogen? Sometimes you're tearing up during silly commercials, you can't stop eating, your pants are tight and uncomfortable, your breasts are sore, and you're easily irritated, to say the least. Does it sound familiar? There's a delicate balance between two of the hormones, two women's hormones, estrogen and progesterone, and that's the focus today. At various times in your life and in your cycle, these can greatly impact how you feel. So, what about things like why does it happen? What about things about unexplained hair loss, decreased sex drive, fatigue, foggy thinking, memory loss, bloating, sleeplessness? Isn't that fun? Cold hands and feet. Does it seem sometimes like something's creeping into your life, like there's a stealthy bandit trying to rob you of your sanity? Think estrogen dominance. Or does it hit you like a freight train once a month with migraines and debilitating mood swings? Well, estrogen and progesterone, again, are the key major female hormones. What they do is they relay signals from cell to cell in different organs and tissues in your body. They naturally vary during a cycle. So as you see on this slide, this graph, there's a delicate balance between the two hormones, estrogen and progesterone. So if you see from day 1 to 14, estrogen is building. Estrogen is kind of stimulating, where progesterone is kind of calming. So estrogen is rising, and as estrogen is rising, you're creating an egg, right? At 14 days, that egg is supposed to be released into the system. Estrogen drops off, and then progesterone rises to balance, right? If there's an imbalance in your hormones, like if the estrogen stays high and you don't even know what you're doing, it can make you feel like your world's turning upside down. So, what is it called? It's called estrogen dominance. And how it happens a lot of times is because we unknowingly take fake estrogens or xeno, Xeno, xenoestrogens in our body. So when this balance is thrown off, you get unwanted symptoms and sometimes illnesses can occur. Now, this slide shows you the most common issues that happen with hormonal imbalance, estrogen dominance symptoms. This is nothing to throw at. Now, how does this happen? Well, you have little estrogen receptor sites, happy little guys, and estrogen goes in and triggers this cell-to-cell communication and how things function. And as it's supposed to happen, it's supposed to come up, you ovulate, you get pregnant or not, and then things balance out. But if you're taking a lot of xenoestrogens, what happens is estrogen comes up, and then when it starts to drop, the xenoestrogens keep those receptor sites active, and then they can cause things like toxicity and different kinds of irregular cell growth. Do you know that there's 70,000 different registered chemicals that can cause endocrine imbalance or xenoestrogen? 70,000. So where do we get them? Well, in basically conventional food. When at all possible, eat organic. So DDT, herbicides, pesticides, glyphosate, those can all cause xenoestrogen. Now, they also are in plastic bottles. By the way, the crunchier the bottle, the more xenoestrogens are in that water. What about the most toxic form of xenoestrogens? It's really not what you put in your mouth. It's not really the food, although those are. But when you take xenoestrogens or toxins like glyphosate, all those kinds of things, when you take them in your body, what happens is your liver detoxifies some of them, right? So you do have a little bit of protection. But did you know the biggest problem, the source of xenoestrogen, is on skincare? An average woman uses 5 to 10 different products every day. And did you know that 80% of what you put on your skin goes directly into your bloodstream in 26 seconds. 80% in 26 seconds goes directly into your bloodstream. Well, if that was healthy stuff, that's no problem. But if it's xenoestrogens, it keeps filling those estrogen receptors, and then you just stay in high estrogen. So topically unclean products are actually 10 times more toxic for you than if you took them orally. So let's talk about bringing, we talked about high estrogens, xenoestrogens. Let's talk about bringing it back to balance. So one of the first things you want to think about is detoxifying, getting those extra estrogens out of your body. So one of the things that you can get, cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, kale, cauliflower, that kind of thing, Brussels sprouts are really, really good. But in order to get the amount that would be in a supplement, you would have to eat tons of it. So if you want to detox, you need to have a little bit higher amount than what you would typically get out of food to have that effect. So what's one of the things that detoxes estrogens is endo-3 carbinol. It's great. Now what happens is when you take endo-3 carbinol, you take it, it goes into your liver, and your liver changes it, converts it to DIM. So I really want to recommend we skip the endo-3 carbinol and just go straight to DIM because it does the same thing and it's less work for the liver. So detoxifying the body throughout the whole body. There's another one. It's called calcium deglutarate. What calcium deglutarate does is it detoxifies estrogens, but it works a little bit more on the gut and the liver, where the DIM would act kind of like systemically. This will act more in the liver and the intestinal tract. So we want to detox the estrogen, right? So I'm going to put this away. This is my pick of the day, and this is why. This Now product DIM, it has 200 DIM, and it also has calcium deglutarate. So it's a twofer. You get them both in one product. Great. So now we're detoxing those extra estrogens, right? Step one. Step two, when you're going through your cycle, remember the estrogen comes up, you ovulate, and then it drops down, and then progesterone comes up. And there's a balance that happens. When you have a lot of xenoestrogens, it's a good idea to supplement with progesterone cream, and they're topical. They're transdermal, because what it does is the progesterone cream brings that balance back. So it balances the estrogen. It does not detoxify estrogen. It brings a balance. So bottom line, you'll feel better. All those moodiness and bloating and all that stuff. Let's get those hormones back in balance. So let's recap. Avoid xenoestrogens. Eat clean. Use clean household products. Especially use clean skincare. Stop by a Fruitful Yield. Check out on our website. We have amazing stuff. I don't use any skincare other than what I get from the Fruitful Yield. So detox your estrogen, balance your progesterone, check labels, eat organic, ditch the plastics, and if you are experiencing things like PMS, perimenopause, menopause, you might want to come into the store and see if there's some supportive supplements that can help you with that targeted phase of your life. Look out for our videos on those subjects upcoming. Thank you so much. Fruitfulyield.com or Fruitful Yield stores. Have a wonderful day.